The story we're following this morning, the Justice Department dropping legal action against Apple. Dropping the legal action that would have forced Apple to break into the iPhone of the San Bernardino shooter. The feds finding their own backdoor past Apple's security wall. Liz MacDonald is here now with that story.
Yeah, in a terse three-sentence filing, the DOJ says we don't need Apple's help. We got into it on our own. We know that reportedly, and I've been told this, a mysterious third party stepped forward with this method. One method theorizes that they just copied the memory, what was on the phone, dumped it on a chip, and then brute force hacked into that, so it wouldn't be wiped out. Here's what we're hearing right now. There's new developments that Apple has continuously said, we want to find out from the government. We do want to go to court and get evidence out of the government for how they get into the phone. We want to understand the flaw. And a little-known rule that was passed about 2 years ago by the Obama administration says if the government finds a security flaw in any device or any technology or any software, they do have to tell the company about it, and there's a specific time frame when they have to do it. So here's what's at stake is essentially Apple is saying, we had a constitutional right not to help the government, but now, according to this rule, the government has to help us fix our security flaw.
But you wouldn't
fix it. So this fight just gets intensified.
But if you're them from being able to hack the phone again in the future.
Right. If you're
That's
the
right.
FBI, you're not going to help Apple fix the flaw because they need the flaw and need to be able to get into the phone because Apple won't help them. Even in the case of a terrorist or a child molester, won't help justice get into a phone.
Yeah.
Right?
There's two things happening. So clearly, Apple's phones are hackable. Right? There's a brand reputation hit that people, cyber thieves or whomever can get into the phone. Secondly, Apple has stood firm, and even it said up to last night, it's saying this case should never have been brought. But now it could say, turn around and say, all right, so you got into the phone, you got to tell us how you got into it. But the FBI could say, you know what, this is national security. That outweighs, your brand reputation. So this fight is not over. It could get worse. No. And the FBI could continue to go into court and say, you know what, we want court orders to get into these phones. The FBI is continuing to say it's just one phone. But.
And Apple is making their phones and even the cloud. It wants to make the cloud even more heavily encrypted, so even Apple can't help you get access to your cloud information. It can't get. It's saying that its phones were impenetrable even with its own help.
So what Apple was just recently saying too, they were essentially saying, Maria, that we do want to go into court. We do want to take evidence from the FBI. We do want to understand what they're looking at and how they can get into our phones.
So do we have any information in terms of how the FBI hacked into the phone?
No, we don't. We only have theories. And the FBI doesn't have to share it unless Apple plays hardball. And by the way, the lobby groups in Washington, D.C. are siding with Apple. They're saying, Apple, yes, you can go in to the government, say, according to this Obama administration new rule, which came after the heartbleed virus, which could, you have to tell us how you got in.
Thank you.
Sure.
Elizabeth, thank you.